Brothers and sisters, my beloved stars, it is no coincidence that today, on the very eve of a dawn that will change history, you are hearing this message. There are words that are born from heaven, not from earth, and when they descend, they do so like lightning bolts that pierce the soul. This is not just any story. It is a warning. It is a living prophecy unfolding before our very eyes, even though many still prefer to look the other way. Heaven has spoken again, and what it has revealed this time leaves no room for indifference. 4 countries will be shaken before dawn: Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina. Not as punishment, but as a call, as a trumpet blast announcing that the time of preparation is over and the awakening has begun. For days now, the signs have multiplied. Testimonies are arriving from different regions of the world. Ordinary people, farmers, nurses, teachers, soldiers, mothers praying silently, all agree on one thing. The air feels different. The wind stops for minutes at a time. The animals are restless in the early morning. Some claim to have seen red and white flashes in the sky. Others heard bells ringing on their own at midnight. The sky does not remain silent, and when the sky speaks, it is because something sacred is about to manifest. The Virgin Mary, our Mother, said in her most recent message, "The world is on the verge of a purification. Do not be afraid. I did not come to bring fear, but to prepare my children for awakening." And when those words were spoken in the hearts of the visionaries, a wave of light swept across the earth. Since then, sensitive hearts know that something is coming. Not a tragedy, but a spiritual upheaval so profound that souls will not be able to remain asleep. The announcement is clear. Before dawn, these 4 countries will feel an inner and outer tremor. Mexico, land of fervent faith, will see its children kneel in the streets, not out of despair, but out of understanding. In the United States, where power and technology dominate everything, there will be a sudden silence. The lights of its cities will dim without explanation, and for a few moments people will understand that there is something greater than their machines. In Colombia, hearts will break in tears and reconciliations. Families separated for years will embrace in prayer. And in Argentina, an entire generation will feel the call to return to their lost faith, as if the national soul were awakening from a long slumber. Stars, this is not about fear. It is about recognition. Heaven does not destroy, heaven purifies. And when the Virgin warns that there will be a tremor before dawn, she is not speaking only of the earth trembling, but of the soul trembling. Many will feel confusion, others will experience a peace they have never known. For darkness and light will intersect for a few hours, and each soul will decide which it belongs to. Some have already sensed it. In the fields of Jalisco, a farmer recounted that while praying at dusk, the wind stopped, and he heard a woman's voice say, "Prepare your lamps, for the night will be short, but intense." In Texas, a nurse related that while caring for a dying patient, a light fell upon her face, and the sick man opened his eyes, saying, "She is here." In Medellin, a little girl woke her mother, saying she had dreamed of a woman dressed in white, covering the country with a mantle. And in Buenos Aires, a priest claimed to have smelled roses while praying alone in the chapel. These are small glimpses that announce what is to come. Stars, write in the comments, "I will awaken in faith." Because it's not just about listening, it's about declaring. Every word that comes from your heart is a spark that illuminates the invisible network of heaven. The Virgin's message spreads through faith, not through the media. And when you write, when you pray, you are participating in the spiritual battle that is fought in silence while the world sleeps. Tonight, the heavens prepare. Angels descend upon the borders of these 4 nations. The air thickens as if the universe were holding its breath. Not everyone will notice. Many will continue with their parties, their political debates, their screens blazing. But the bright stars, the children of light, will feel the vibration in their bones. a warning that comes not from men, but from on high. The Virgin Mary has said, "Before darkness touches the earth, a great silence will come. It will be the final call to conversion." This silence will not be natural. It will be a spiritual silence. The bells will cease to ring, the clocks will seem to stop, and the wind will still. In those moments, hearts will know the truth. What matters will not be what you possess, nor your titles, nor your power, but the purity of your soul. Mexico will be the first to feel the breeze of purification. In its mountains, in its ancient temples, in the homes where the rosary is still prayed, people will perceive a gentle presence, an inexplicable comfort. The Virgin will pass among the houses, knocking on invisible doors, marking with her light those who have waited patiently. There will be no fear in them, only sweet tears. Those who mocked, those who doubted, will be confounded, for they will see signs that science cannot explain. In the United States, the upheaval will be different. It won't be the tremor of the ground, but the momentary collapse of human noise. The great cities will be enveloped in a dense calm. For a few moments, phones, screens, and lights will cease to respond. And in that silence, many will hear for the first time an inner voice that will say to them, "Return to me." Some will fall to their knees without understanding why, but their souls will recognize the source. The Virgin will cover with her mantle the places where there is still prayer, however few they may be. In the suburbs, in the countryside, in the hospitals, there will be peace. In Colombia, the test will be emotional. Families will feel the urgent need to reconcile. Old enemies will forgive each other without knowing why. Spontaneous singing will be heard in the mountains. Churches, empty for so long, will open their doors to multitudes. Many will experience the power of forgiveness as an inner awakening, a liberation that will bring them to tears. The Virgin has said, "A wind of mercy will blow in Colombia, and where there was division, a new fire will be kindled." Argentina, for its part, will experience the quietest yet most profound awakening. There will be no earthquakes or lightning, but a tremor of the spirit. In the early mornings, homes will feel an unusual warmth, as if an invisible candle were burning in every room. Some will see shadows vanish, others will smell flowers they hadn't brought, and the elderly, those who had lost hope, will smile, saying, "She has passed by here." The entire country will feel a calling to look to the sky, not with fear, but with tenderness. Stars do not fear. The shaking does not come to destroy, but to reveal what is dormant. Many will ask, why now? Why these countries? And the answer from heaven is clear, because from these 4 nations will spring a wave of faith that will sweep across the entire world. They are 4 pillars of light that will sustain the new era of prayer. That is why heaven has chosen them, not to punish them, but to awaken them first. Tonight, time will seem to stand still. In some places, the sky will turn red for a few seconds, as if dawn were coming early. But it won't be the sun. It will be the sign. When you see that light, don't run, don't be afraid. Kneel and pray. The Virgin will cover with her mantle those who are silent, with hearts ablaze. "Those who pray with me," she has said, "will see the light before dawn." In Mexico, bells will ring without human hands. In the United States, a gentle breeze will blow through empty streets, bringing peace where there was once noise. In Colombia, tears will stream down the faces of those who had never believed. And in Argentina, rosaries will once again ring in homes. 4 countries, 1 single sign, 4 hearts beating as one. Dawn will bring new clarity, but first there must come the calm, the trial, the shaking. This is how the heavens clear the paths. Don't be alarmed if the darkness thickens for a few moments. Remember that just before dawn, the night is at its densest. But it is also when the stars shine brightest. The Virgin has promised that none of her faithful children will be left without shelter. In every country there will be homes protected by her mantle. In every city there will be a light that never goes out. And even if the media remains silent, even if the powerful mock heaven doesn't need microphones to speak, it speaks in the wind, in the silence, in the hearts that listen. Stars, write in the comments, "My lamp will not go out." Let each word be a vow of faith, a spiritual sign that heaven records. For the coming dawn will not be merely physical, it will be a dawn of the soul. And those who keep their lamp burning even when all seems dark will see the first light. Heaven watches. Angels record the names of those who pray, of those who wait. And though the world may still be asleep, you, bright stars, are already awake. Do not let the noise or mockery distract you. When the wind stills, when the silence is complete, you will know that the Virgin is passing by. It will not be a punishment, it will be a visit, a purification that prepares the way for peace. In the coming hours, many will feel an inner tremor. Do not seek a scientific explanation. Do not rush to social media to ask what is happening. Close your eyes and pray. The earth will shake, but so will the human heart. It is the beginning of mercy. The Virgin said, "When shadows try to cover you, call on my name. I will be there like light in the night." And that promise is enough. There is no darkness that can extinguish a heart that trusts. Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina will be touched by the same ray of purification, but each will shine in its own way. And when dawn arrives, they will know that heaven has not forgotten them. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, prepare your homes, not with fear, but with love. Light a candle, a rosary, a prayer. If you can, offer forgiveness, give a hug, cleanse your soul, because when the heavens shake, it does so that nothing impure remains. This is not the end, it is the beginning of something new. The coming dawn will be different, and when the first rays of light cross the sky, those who have waited in faith will understand everything. There will be no doubt, no confusion, only gratitude. The earth will remember this day as the day 4 nations were touched by divine mercy. Stars, remain calm. Repeat in your heart, "Virgin Mary, cover us with your mantle." And she will. Even if you don't see her, you will feel her presence. Even if you don't hear her, you will perceive her fragrance. Even if darkness surrounds you, within you will shine the certainty that heaven is with you. The world is on the brink of awakening, and you are part of this moment. You are not alone. Heaven has counted your prayers, your tears, and your silences, and now it says to you, "My child, do not fear. Before dawn will come the shaking, but afterward will come peace." Stay with me, morning star, for this is only the first part. In the next part, we will reveal the precise signs that will appear in the skies of Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina. But tonight, simply wait, pray, and trust. Heaven is closer than you imagine, and when dawn breaks, you will know that the prophecy has been fulfilled. Brothers and sisters, my beloved morning stars, if in the first part we felt the announcement as a whisper that stirred our souls, now we must open our hearts, for heaven is beginning to speak more clearly. The time of gentle warning is drawing to a close. The signs, which were once discreet, are now becoming visible to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Not everyone will recognize them, but the morning stars will feel them in their spirits as a growing pressure, as a certainty that cannot be ignored. The Virgin Mary has shown that before the upheaval, precise signs will come, not to frighten, but to confirm. For heaven never acts without warning. Just as before a storm the air grows heavy and the silence becomes eerie, so too now the entire earth is entering a state of spiritual expectation. And what will happen in Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina is neither chance nor coincidence. It is a pattern that heaven has lovingly and resolutely established. In Mexico, in recent mornings, many have awakened before dawn, with their hearts racing for no apparent reason. Some describe hearing distant church bells just before opening their eyes, even though there were no churches nearby. Others say they smelled a soft aroma, like fresh flowers or incense, enveloping their homes for a few seconds. The Virgin Mary has indicated that these signs announce her silent presence, a visit that leaves no visible trace, but a profound mark on the soul. Mexico, a land of enduring faith, is being prepared to support others when the trial comes. In certain regions, animals have been behaving unusually. Dogs howl at the sky, birds suddenly abandon the trees in the middle of the night, and cattle become restless for no apparent reason. The ancients knew that creation perceives what humankind takes time to understand. The heavens are sharpening the earth's sensitivity, and Mexico hears this call like an ancient echo reawakening. In the United States, the signs have taken a different form. There, it's not so much the scent or the sound, but the sudden silence of human noise. Cities that never sleep have experienced inexplicable pauses. For brief moments, traffic stops for no reason, lights flicker, communications fail for just a few seconds. Many attribute it to technical errors, but deep down, there's something different. It's as if the heavens are saying, "Stop and listen." People who haven't prayed in years have felt a strange urge to kneel in silence. They can't explain why, but they sense that something is about to happen and that they are unprepared. The Virgin has shown that the United States will experience a profound inner conflict. Pride will be shaken, not to humiliate, but to make room for humility. In that country, the signal will not be loud, but internal. The soul will be left without arguments, and only faith will offer solace. In Colombia, the signs are manifesting in people's hearts. Intense, recurring dreams where people see themselves walking in the dark, holding a small but steady candle. Many wake up weeping, feeling an urgent need to ask for forgiveness or to forgive. The Virgin has shown that Colombia will be touched by a wave of profound conversion. Before the outward upheaval, there will be an inner breaking. In towns and cities, people who had been estranged for years have begun to seek each other out, without knowing why. Unplanned calls, unexpected visits, reconciliations that seemed impossible. All of this is not spontaneous. It is the Spirit preparing the way. Because when darkness tries to enter, only reconciled hearts will be able to sustain peace. Argentina, for its part, is experiencing a quieter but no less powerful sign. There, many have felt an inexplicable nostalgia, as if something ancient were calling to them. People who abandoned the faith decades ago recalled childhood prayers, forgotten hymns, and images tucked away in some corner of their homes. The Virgin has confirmed that Argentina will experience a call to spiritual memory. Before the upheaval, the remembrance will come, and that remembrance will bring tears, but also healing. Stars. Observe how the sky does not repeat signs randomly. Each country receives the warning according to its deepest wound. Mexico in its spiritual sensitivity, the United States in the silence of pride, Colombia in the reconciliation of the heart, and Argentina in its dormant memory. These are 4 different paths that lead to the same moment, and that moment approaches before dawn. The Virgin has indicated that one of the clearest signs will be a profound silence that will envelop certain regions for minutes that will seem like an eternity. It will not be an empty silence. It will be a silence filled with presence, filled with expectation. The stars will feel it as a gentle weight upon their chests, not as fear, but as reverence. In those moments, many will understand that they are not alone and that heaven is watching. Don't be surprised if during that pause you feel like crying for no apparent reason or experience a peace you've never known before. It's not human emotion, it's spiritual contact. It's heaven drawing near without words. The Virgin Mary has said that in that silence, whoever prays sincerely will be touched irreversibly, not with spectacular visions, but with an inner clarity that can never be erased. It has also been shown that before the shaking, there will be confusion among the unbelievers. They will try to explain the signs, ridicule them, or ignore them. Some will scoff, saying it's all collective suggestion, but deep down they will know something is amiss. That discomfort will be part of the test, because every soul will be confronted with itself. Luceros writes in the comments, "I remain attentive, not as an empty phrase, but as a decision, because being attentive is not watching with your eyes, but with your heart. The distracted will see nothing. The attentive will feel everything." The Virgin Mary has revealed that on the night before the earthquake, many will wake up at the exact same time in different countries. There will be no communication between them, but they will share the same feeling, an urgent need to pray. This will be one of the clearest signs that heaven is aligning events. When thousands kneel at the same time without having planned it, it is not by chance. It is the spiritual clock being ticking. In Mexico, prayer groups will feel the need to light candles in the middle of the night. In the United States, people will pace their homes, unable to sleep, feeling compelled to stay awake. In Colombia, old songs will rise to their lips, songs they haven't heard for years. In Argentina, the rosary will ring out again in homes where it has been forgotten for decades. 4 countries, one invisible call. Don't be fooled, my dear. Heaven doesn't improvise. Everything happens with perfect precision. What seems like chaos to the world is synchronicity to heaven. The signs don't seek to create panic, but rather identity, to separate those who listen from those who sleep. Because when the final moment of the test arrives, there will be no time to decide. The decision is being made now, in simplicity, in intimacy, in the silent response of the heart. The Virgin Mary insisted, "Do not chase after spectacular signs. Listen to what is happening within you. That will be the greatest test. Those who seek spectacle will be confused. Those who seek silence will find the truth." Stars, if you feel unease, don't reject it. Transform it into prayer. If you feel fear, surrender it. If you feel peace, give thanks for it. Everything is being allowed to prepare the way. The upheaval will not come to surprise the attentive, but to confirm what they already knew. Before dawn, something will align in the sky and on the earth. Not everyone will see it, but everyone will feel it. And after that moment, nothing will be the same. Those who listened and prepared will walk with a newfound serenity. Those who ignored it will desperately seek answers. The Virgin Mary has said that in this final stage of preparation, every small act of faith counts. A sincere prayer, a lit candle, a pardon granted, a kind word. Nothing is insignificant when heaven draws near. Every gesture is a sign of light that adds to the spiritual map covering these 4 nations. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, this is not about guessing what will happen minute by minute, but about remaining steadfast. The heavens are giving the final confirmations before dawn. The signs are already there. To ignore them now would be to close our eyes as the light begins to filter through. In the next part, we will delve even deeper into the heart of the mystery. We will reveal what will happen at the exact moment the shaking manifests and how the people will react when the sign ceases to be a warning and becomes an experience. Stay with me, morning star. Do not abandon the lamp. The heavens continue to speak, and what is coming will be impossible to ignore. Brothers, sisters, my beloved morning stars, if until now we have walked through the announcement and the signs, the time has come to speak of what will happen when the shaking ceases to be a warning and becomes an experience. For the heavens do not merely warn, the heavens act. And when they do, they disrupt everything that humanity believed to be firm in order to reveal what truly remains. Before dawn, that invisible boundary between the known and the eternal will be crossed, and the 4 designated countries will feel the impact in a way they will not be able to erase from their memory. The Virgin has shown that the shaking will not arrive as a single uniform event, but as a wave that sweeps across the earth, touching each nation in a distinct yet synchronized way. Those who are awake will first feel the profound silence, a silence heavier than any noise. It will not be the absence of sound, but the presence of heaven. Many will pause in the midst of their daily activities, their hearts racing as if an invisible hand were gently pressing on their chests. That will be the moment when the soul recognizes that something holy is happening. In Mexico, that moment will be experienced as a collective calling. There will be homes where several people will wake up at the same time, looking at each other without saying a word. Some will feel like crying, others a strange peace, others an irresistible urge to light a candle. The Virgin has shown that in that country, the upheaval will awaken the faith dormant in the everyday. Families who haven't prayed together in a long time will do so without planning it. Mothers will silently place their hands on their children's heads, and that gesture will be more powerful than 1,000 words. Mexico will be a source of strength, a refuge, because its historical wound will be transformed into compassion. But there will also be confusion. People will wake up startled, trying to turn on lights, searching for quick explanations. Some will feel fear, and others will try to escape the silence by filling it with artificial noise. However, the more they try to escape, the more intense the inner feeling will become. The Virgin has said that in Mexico, those who surrender to the silence will feel relief, and those who resist it will feel weariness. That will be the first invisible separation. In the United States, the upheaval will be experienced as an abrupt disruption. The accelerated pace will break without warning. There will be areas where systems fail for minutes that will seem like hours. It won't be a total collapse, but enough to cause unease. In offices, hospitals, and homes, people will look at each other unsure of what to do. Accustomed to controlling everything, they will feel for the first time that something is slipping completely out of their grasp, and in that void, pride will shatter. The Virgin Mary has shown that many in the United States will fall to their knees without understanding why. It won't be a conscious decision, it will be a response of the soul. Some will weep uncontrollably, others will feel small and fragile. And although they will try to rationalize it later, in that moment they will know they have been touched. The shaking in that nation will not be of buildings, but of certainties. What they believe to be eternal will become fragile, and many will seek refuge in prayer for the first time. In Colombia, the upheaval will manifest as an emotional outburst. The initial silence will be followed by weeping, deep, liberating weeping. People burdened by old guilt will feel an urgent need to confess it, even if only in solitude. Families will embrace without speaking. Neighbors will ask forgiveness for minor offenses that have weighed heavily on their souls for years. The Virgin has revealed that Colombia will experience such a powerful inner cleansing that it will leave many exhausted yet renewed. In some regions during the shaking, spontaneous singing will be heard. Not organized choirs, but solitary voices that will begin to sing ancient prayers, and other voices will join in without knowing why. It will be as if the spirit were remembering songs the body had forgotten. These voices will pierce the night like invisible torches. The accumulated sadness will transform into humility, and humility into hope. Argentina will experience the upheaval in an even quieter, yet profoundly penetrating way. It will be like a tremor that doesn't move objects, but stirs up memories. People will awaken, remembering mistakes, decisions, paths abandoned. They won't feel condemnation, but nostalgia, a sense of having left something important behind. The Virgin has shown that in Argentina, the upheaval will be a rediscovery of oneself. Many will seek out old religious images, cherished rosaries, forgotten Bibles, not out of fear, but from a gentle and irresistible attraction. At that moment, some will feel a warm presence, almost like an embrace, and they will know, without seeing her, that the Mother has passed by. Peace will arrive not as euphoria, but as certainty. Argentina will understand that its strength lies not in the noise, but in the spiritual root that still remains alive beneath the surface. My dear friends, this is the crucial point. When the upheaval comes, there will be no time to choose based on reason. The answer will come from the heart. That is why preparation is not external, but internal. It is not about stockpiling objects, but about emptying the soul of resentment and fear. The Virgin has been clear: do not fear the upheaval, fear remaining asleep. During that moment, there will also be those who react with mockery. Some will take out their phones to record, to laugh, to downplay. But something will go wrong. The laughter will fade. The words will remain silent, because the Spirit cannot mock when confronted. And afterward, those same people will desperately seek explanations, but it will be too late to deny what they felt. Luceros writes in the comments, "I will not run from silence." This phrase is not symbolic, it is a decision. Silence will be the arena where who trusts and who fears will be revealed. Those who embrace it will find refuge. Those who reject it will feel empty. The Virgin has shown that the shaking will not last for hours, but for intense minutes. Yet its effects will remain for years, because after that moment, people will not be the same. Some will awaken with new clarity, with the desire to change their lives, to make amends for their mistakes, to walk with greater humility, and others will awaken irritated, confused, and resentful. The same sign will produce different fruits, according to what each heart held within. Before dawn, when the wave has passed through Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina, a calm will envelop the regions. It will not be a superficial relief, but a sacred stillness. In that stillness, the stars will feel an inner confirmation. This was necessary, and they will understand that the heavens have not finished speaking, because what comes after the upheaval will be even more profound. There will be an interpretation of what happened. There will be a reaction from the masses. There will be attempts to conceal, to explain, to deflect, and there will also be the emergence of testimonies impossible to silence. The upheaval will only be the doorway. What lies behind it has not yet been fully revealed. The Virgin Mary has said that this event will divide not countries, but consciences. Two people in the same house will experience the same night in opposite ways, one with peace, the other with anguish. And that difference will mark the path each will choose from now on. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, if you have come this far, it is not by chance. You are listening because your spirit was ready. Do not let restlessness overcome you when the moment arrives. Remember these words: the shaking is a powerful caress from heaven to awaken its children. In the next part, we will delve into what happens immediately after the shaking, how the media, governments, and the masses will react, and how the stars must stand firm when the world tries to return to the noise. Stay with me. Keep the lamp burning. Dawn is coming, and history is about to change. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, when the shaking has passed and dawn finally dares to show itself on the horizon, the world will believe for a moment that it is all over. Many will breathe a sigh of relief, thinking it was just a strange night, a collective coincidence, a brief episode that can be forgotten. But the heavens do not shake to be forgotten. They shake to be remembered. And it is in the hours immediately following the shaking that an even quieter but more dangerous battle begins. The battle for the meaning of what was experienced. The Virgin has shown that as soon as the sun begins to rise, people will search for words to explain what they felt. Not what happened, but what they felt, because that is what will trouble them most. In Mexico, the morning will be strangely still. The streets will begin to fill little by little, but without the usual bustle. There will be long glances exchanged between strangers, as if each were trying to confirm in the other's eyes that they were not the only one who felt something profound during the night. No one will talk much. Their hearts will still be processing what happened. In many Mexican homes, candles will burn down, forgotten on tables and makeshift altars. No one will consciously extinguish them. They will simply have gone out on their own, as if fulfilling a mission. Some families will eat breakfast in silence for the first time in years. It won't be discomfort, it will be respect. And in that respect, questions will arise that they won't dare to voice aloud, but that will mark a turning point. The Virgin has said that Mexico will be a land of witness, not of speeches. Its faith will speak more through gestures than words. In the United States, the reaction will be different. As soon as things start to get back on track, the media will try to fill the void with quick explanations. Experts will appear on screens talking about technical glitches, electrical anomalies, collective psychological phenomena. But something will have been broken. Even if they try to return to normal, normality will no longer quite fit. People who never questioned anything will feel a lingering unease, a sense that something essential was left unsaid. The Virgin has shown that many will try to joke about what happened, downplay it, transform the shock into memes or ironic comments. But beneath that, laughter will be fear, and fear will not dissipate with words. In offices and homes, some will look at the clock anxiously, as if afraid that the silence will return without warning. Because even if they don't admit it, deep down, they will know that that night was no ordinary one. In Colombia, the morning will bring renewed tears. Many will awaken with unexpected emotional fatigue, as if they had spent the night awake, even though they slept. The serenity will be profound, but also revealing. People will feel the need to call someone, to ask for forgiveness, to clear up unfinished business. There will be an urgency to put their lives in order. The Virgin has said that in Colombia, the dawn after the upheaval will be the beginning of a slow but steady restoration. In entire neighborhoods, prayers will be heard at dawn, unorganized, unannounced, spontaneous. Some will gather on street corners, others in small rooms, others silently in their bedrooms. And although the media won't show these scenes, they will exist. They will be small, invisible seeds that will later bear fruit. Colombia will begin to understand that strength lies not in resisting, but in surrendering with humility. Argentina will experience the dawn of a silent mourning. There will be a sense of loss, not of something external, but of time. Many will feel they have wasted valuable years living distracted lives. And alongside that sadness will come the desire not to squander what remains. The Virgin has shown that in Argentina, after the upheaval, people will speak less and think more. The noise will subside, reflection will increase, and that combination will open a profound and lasting spiritual process. But my friends, here comes the most important warning. With the dawn, a coordinated effort will begin to extinguish the meaning of this upheaval. Not with open persecution, not with violence, but with normalization. The message will be clear: nothing happened. And that phrase will be more dangerous than any threat, because denying what happened will attempt to extinguish what the heavens ignited. The Virgin has revealed that many will feel confusion during those hours. They will wonder if they exaggerated, if it was just a passing emotion. That doubt will be the final test. Not the night, not the silence, not the upheaval, but the temptation to forget. Therefore, this moment demands quiet resolve, not to argue, not to convince, but to remain. He who remains triumphs. Lucaros writes in the comments, "I will not forget what I experienced." This phrase is an anchor. Forgetting is the ground where the enemy sows again. Spiritual memory is the defense of the awakened. The Virgin Mary has said that after the upheaval, those who were truly touched will recognize others by their gaze, not by religious words, not by symbols, but by peace. They will meet in the street, at work, on public transport, and they will know who was awake. This silent network will begin to form without human organization. It will be the beginning of something new. Meanwhile, the mockers will grow louder. Some will attack the faith more fiercely, others will become irritated for no reason. This reaction is not strength, it is defense, because when the light shines, those who refuse to change harden. Do not take this as defeat. It is a sign that the message has reached its intended recipient. The Virgin Mary has shown that in the days following dawn there will be revealing dreams, not necessarily visible, but impactful. Dreams where people see themselves walking toward a distant light, or closing old doors, or letting go of heavy objects. These are symbols of the soul processing what has been experienced. Don't ignore them. Write them down. Remember them. They are part of the healing process. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, I want you to understand this clearly. The shaking was not the main event. It was the key. What comes next will depend on how each of you responds now. Heaven has already spoken. Now watch, and watch patiently. The Virgin Mary has been clear in her message. My children must not fear the world, but neither should they be complacent in its presence. There is a fine line between calmness and indifference. Remain calm, but don't extinguish the light. Live your life, but with an open heart. Love, work, smile, but don't forget what you felt when silence covered the earth, because in the next stage, heaven will demand a witness. Not necessarily a public one, not necessarily with words, but with consistency. How you live after the upheaval will be your most eloquent response, and what unfolds next will depend on that response. In the next part, we will enter an even deeper phase. The first testimonies that cannot be hidden, the small, silent miracles that will begin to multiply in Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina, and how the heavens will confirm that the shaking was not an end, but a beginning. Stay with me, bright star. Don't extinguish your light. The world will try to go on as before, but you are no longer the same, and what has changed within you is the clearest sign that the Virgin has passed by. Brothers, sisters, my beloved bright stars, when the world tries to convince itself that everything has returned to normal, the heavens begin to silently confirm that nothing will be the same. For this is how God acts when his work is profound. He doesn't need constant clamor. He doesn't repeat the signal with noise, but leaves gentle yet undeniable traces in those who listened. And it is in this time, right after the upheaval and the dawn, that the first miracles begin to manifest themselves, miracles that don't seek cameras or applause, but that seal the truth of what happened. The Virgin has shown that these miracles will not appear in headlines, but in simple kitchens, in quiet hospitals, in rooms where someone prayed with faith during the night of the earthquake. They will be miracles of order, not spectacle. Miracles that restore, reconcile, and heal both body and soul. And although the world may call them coincidences, those who experience them will know they were touched by mercy. In Mexico, the first signs will manifest as slow but complete healings. People who have suffered for months with persistent pain will wake up without it. They won't understand immediately. They'll think it was rest, that it was suggestion. But as the days pass, as the pain doesn't return, they will understand. The Virgin has said that Mexico will witness domestic, discreet, profound healings. Mothers who wept during the night of the earthquake will now feel relief in their chests, as if an invisible weight has been lifted. There will also be reconciliations that will seem inexplicable. Conversations that for years could not take place will flow without resistance. Harsh words will lose their power. Divided families will begin to eat together again, without ceremony, without speeches, naturally. And this new normal will be the greatest miracle. In the United States, miracles will manifest primarily in the mind and spirit. People trapped in constant anxiety will experience a calm that comes from neither medication nor therapy. Not all problems will disappear, but anguish will cease to dominate. Some will awaken with sudden clarity about decisions they must make. Unexpected changes of direction will begin to occur. The Virgin has shown that many in that country will leave jobs that drained them and seek a simpler life, more aligned with their souls. To the world, this will be imprudence. To heaven, it will be obedience. There will also be social healing. People on the verge of emotional collapse will find words of comfort from unexpected sources. A stranger will say just the right thing. A small gesture will avert tragedy. These are miracles that go uncounted, but they save lives. The United States will experience the miracle of accepted vulnerability, and in that acceptance, it will find peace. In Colombia, miracles will take the form of tears transformed into strength. People who knelt weeping during the earthquake will feel a new energy in the following days, as if they had released years of pent-up pain. Chronically ill patients will experience gradual relief, not instantaneous but steady. But the Virgin has revealed that Colombia will undergo a process of communal healing. Entire neighborhoods will change their dynamics. Violence will decrease in certain areas, and silent prayer will become the norm. There will also be testimonies of revealing dreams. People will see light surrounding their homes. Others will see themselves walking toward springs of clear water. These are not random images. They are the language of the Spirit, healing its deepest parts. And these dreams will compel many to align their external lives with what their soul has already decided. Argentina will experience miracles of healed memories. People burdened by old guilt will feel forgiven without human intermediaries. A sense of relief will sweep the country, though it may not always be expressed in words. The Virgin has shown that in Argentina, many elderly people will regain their will to live, and young people afflicted by apathy will find purpose. Not as euphoria, but as serene conviction. There will also be subtle physical healings. Persistent pains will disappear during rest, and upon waking, no one will be able to explain why. Doctors will speak of spontaneous remissions. Those who experience them will know it was an answer to a prayer uttered perhaps with tears, perhaps in silence, during the night of the shaking. Stars, do not expect these miracles to be publicly acknowledged. They will not be. For this phase is not to convince the unbelievers, but to strengthen those who have awakened. They are seals of confirmation. Heaven saying, "It was not imagination. I am here." Each silent miracle is a word without sound that reaffirms the prophecy. The Virgin Mary has been clear. Whoever receives a grace must cherish it with humility. Do not use it to show off. Do not turn it into an argument. Protect it in prayer, because what comes next will demand strengthened hearts, not proud ones. The miracle is nourishment for the journey, not a battle flag. Luceros writes in the comments, "I silently keep what heaven has done." This phrase is a commitment. There are things that are only preserved when they are not exposed to the noise. The enemy does not fear miracles shouted from the rooftops. He fears miracles protected within. Meanwhile, the world will continue trying to close the chapter. There will be new stories, new scandals, new distractions. The pace of life will try to absorb the experience, but those who were touched will feel an inner resistance. Something will tell them, "Don't go back." That voice doesn't shout, doesn't pressure, it accompanies. It is the voice of an awakened conscience. The Virgin has shown that after the silent miracles will come an even more delicate phase, the prolonged choice. Not a dramatic choice of one night, but a daily decision to remain awake or to go back to sleep, to light the lamp or let it slowly go out. And that decision will not be made with grand gestures, but with small, everyday actions. These days, many souls will feel a new sensitivity. They will spontaneously distance themselves from places, conversations, or habits they once tolerated. Not out of judgment, but out of inner discomfort. The soul no longer fits where it once did. And that, too, is a miracle, even if it hurts at first. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, understand this. The upheaval opened the door, the dawn illuminated it, the miracles confirmed it. Now the journey begins. It will not be short or easy, but it will be true. Whoever walks it with humility will not walk alone. The Virgin has promised to accompany everyone who kept the faith during the night, not with visible apparitions, but with a constant presence, in decisions, in silences, in saving intuitions. Don't seek to feel, seek to trust. The confirmation has already been given. In the next part, we will delve into the deeper reaction, how these miracles, though silent, will begin to connect with each other, forming a living network of stars in Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina, and how the heavens will begin to prepare something even greater through them. Stay with me. Don't extinguish the lamp. What heaven has begun will not stop, and you are part of that work, even if the world doesn't yet know it. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, after the silent miracles, something even deeper occurs, almost imperceptible to the world, but absolutely clear to heaven. The union begins. Not a visible union, not a human organization, not a movement with a name, leaders, or structures. It is a spiritual network that forms silently, like roots growing underground before breaking through the surface. The stars begin to recognize one another without words, connected by the same experience, sustained by the same inner vigilance. The Virgin Mary has shown that in this stage, many will feel a new need to seek spaces of silence. It will not be an escape from the world, but a refinement of the soul. People in Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina will begin to choose stillness over noise, prayer over argument, depth over haste. Not because someone is forcing it upon them, but because something within them no longer tolerates superficiality. This is the sign that the light has begun to align itself internally. In Mexico, this network will manifest itself in small family groups, not large congregations, but simple tables where someone suggests praying, not out of fear, but out of gratitude. The rosary will sound again in kitchens, patios, and bedrooms. And in those moments, even if they see nothing extraordinary, there will be a peace that confirms they are not alone. The Virgin has shown that Mexico will be a pillar of constant prayer, supporting other countries when the next trial arrives. In the United States, the network will form in an even more discreet and personal way. People who have never spoken about faith will begin to share profound questions with one or two acquaintances. Not speeches, not sermons, but honest conversations. Something will break within the modern isolation. The Virgin has revealed that, in that country, unity will not be born from religious structures, but from hearts that have grown tired of feigning strength and have dared to say, "I can't do it alone." In Colombia, the network will take on a community-based form. Neighborhoods where violence once reigned will begin to experience an inexplicable calm. Problems won't disappear overnight, but the reaction will be different. There will be more dialogue, more patience. People who once responded with anger will now know how to stop. The Virgin has shown that Colombia will be an example of living reconciliation, not because everything will be perfect, but because forgiveness will begin to flow like fresh air. Argentina will experience this period in a profound and introspective way. Many will feel the urge to write, to reflect, to organize their personal history. People who have never kept a diary will begin to record their thoughts and memories, not out of empty nostalgia, but for healing. The Virgin has indicated that Argentina will be a guardian of spiritual memory, helping others not to forget what they have experienced when time passes and the pressures of the world try to extinguish their inner fire. Stars, this network will not be recognized or celebrated. In fact, it will go completely unnoticed. And that is part of heaven's plan. Because what is displayed wears out, but what is cultivated in silence grows stronger. This union does not depend on geographical proximity, but on spiritual affinity. People who will never meet will be praying at the same time, feeling the same calling, making similar decisions in different countries. That synchronicity is heaven's signature. The Virgin Mary has said that while this network is consolidated, the world will enter a phase of seemingly reinforced normality. The noise will return with greater force. New distractions, new urgent matters, new controversies will attempt to occupy everyone's minds. It will be an attempt at collective anesthesia. And therein lies the true test, not letting normality crush what has been awakened. Many will feel weariness, not physical but spiritual, a temptation to relax too much, to let their guard down. They will think, it's over, it's done. That voice will be subtle, not aggressive. But that is where the future is decided. The Virgin has been clear, those who have been awakened must now learn to remain, not in tension, not in fear, but in serene vigilance. During this time, there will also be spiritual confusion. People who did not experience the upheaval deeply will begin to reinterpret it in distorted ways. They will add exaggerations, false dates, and alarmist rumors. And that will create division. Stars, do not follow those extremes. Heaven does not shout, it guides. Truth does not need exaggeration to stand. Stay centered, maintain peace. Write in the comments, I remain steadfast in silence. This phrase is key for this stage. Not everything needs to be shared. Not every experience needs to be defended. What's coming will require wisdom more than enthusiasm, love more than urgency, and presence more than words. The Virgin has shown that in this phase, many will receive very specific inner warnings. Not audible voices, but clear intuitions. To change course, postpone a trip, call someone, protect a home. Whoever learns to listen to these small indications will be preserved. Whoever ignores them will not be punished, but will expose themselves unnecessarily. Simple obedience will be the invisible shield of the stars. This spiritual network will begin to exert its influence without you even realizing it. People close to you will feel calm when you speak to them. Others will seek your advice without knowing why. Don't become judges or saviors. Be present, listen, and accompany. That will be the true impact. Heaven doesn't need visible heroes. It needs open hearts. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, understand something crucial. What is happening now is preparation. Not to flee the world, but to walk through what is coming with firm feet. The Virgin has revealed that there will be a new stage of trials, different from the initial upheaval, longer and more subtle, and only those who have learned to remain steadfast will be able to hold the light without it going out. In Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina, this network will grow like an invisible fabric that crisscrosses cities, towns, and rural areas. Not everyone will be part of it, but those who are will feel a sense of belonging that doesn't depend on institutions. A quiet certainty. I am not alone, even though I walk in silence. The Virgin has promised that when the decisive moment arrives, this network will ignite spontaneously. The guiding lights will be clearly recognizable, not through external symbols, but through inner coherence. There will be a serene force, a new order that will not be imposed, but will be felt. Stay with me, Morning Star. You have walked through the announcement, the signs, the shaking, the dawn, the miracles, and now the silent union. But we have not yet reached the most delicate point. In the next part, we will reveal the Virgin's final warning before the great movement that will shake the nations again, not with noise, but with an irreversible decision. Don't get distracted. Don't rush. Keep the lamp burning. The most important thing is yet to be revealed. Brothers, sisters, my beloved stars, we have reached the point where heaven stops warning and begins to seal. Everything that was announced, pointed out, and prepared now converges into a single truth. None of this happened by chance, and nothing that is coming can be stopped by human hands. The Virgin Mary did not speak to frighten, she spoke to save. Every sign, every silence, every tremor was a firm caress from heaven to awaken her children before it was too late. If you've listened to this message this far, it wasn't out of curiosity. It was because your spirit was already on its way. The shaking touched nations, but the final decision was always personal. Some awoke, others hardened. Some kept the light, others preferred to return to the noise. Heaven doesn't force, heaven calls. And now, after Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina have been touched, a new time begins in which each one must live according to what they understood in silence. The Virgin Mary has been clear in her final warning. He who kept the faith, keep it with humility. He who awoke, do not go back to sleep. He who was consoled, console others. There will be no applause for the faithful, nor recognition for the stars. There will be long walks, small decisions, and daily trials. But there will also be a peace that the world cannot understand or take away. Don't wait for more spectacular signs to confirm what you already know. The confirmation was internal. The light you felt doesn't need to be repeated to be real. The true miracle is that you continue forward with a pure heart, a steady gaze, and your lamp burning, even when the world insists that nothing happened. Now, let us unite in prayer, not as a final gesture, but as a foundation for all that is to come. Virgin Mary, Mother of Mercy and Light, today we place Mexico, the United States, Colombia, and Argentina under your mantle. Cover every family, every home that prayed in silence, every star that remained steadfast when the night grew dark. Grant us a humble heart, so as not to forget what we have experienced, courage to walk in accordance with our values, and wisdom not to be distracted when the noise tries to return. Heavenly Father, receive our gratitude for the awakening, for the purification, and for the peace that arises even after the upheaval. Guide our steps, order our thoughts, and strengthen our faith so that no future trial will find us asleep. Saint Michael, the Archangel, guardian of light, protect the stars in the days to come. Defend our homes, safeguard our decisions, and keep away any shadow that seeks to confuse or divide. So be it. Amen. Stars, what the heavens began will not be stopped. This was a warning, not an end. Keep your lamp burning, not out of fear, but out of love. For the night does not have the last word, and when the heavens speak again, for they will, those who remained faithful will recognize the voice without doubt. Stay alert, live in silence, walk in light. The Virgin Mary continues to watch over her children, and heaven has not yet finished speaking.